For those watching television news in Russia, there is no war in Ukraine, only a special military operation designed to root out Nazis, and it's all going according to plan. Those pictures of bombed out cities? The Ukrainians did it to themselves, Russian state media insists. It sounds bizarre to Western ears, but experts say many, if not most, Russians believe it.
It's quite terrifying, the effect that this propaganda is having on ordinary Russians.
Alexey Kovalev is an award-winning Russian investigative reporter at Meduza, a Russian independent news site. He left Moscow in early March as Vladimir Putin's government cracked down on the few remaining voices of dissent. Kovalev and others familiar with the Russian media landscape say years of disinformation by state organs has left much of the Russian public in the grip of conspiracy theories.
It's now a criminal offense to call it war, and Russia is just conducting this special operation to liberate Ukraine from the Nazis. The latest line was we didn't expect that basically the entire Ukraine is Nazis. I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. It's an actual quote.
Since the invasion, the Kremlin has shut down independent journalism and made it almost impossible for Russians to access Facebook, Twitter, and international news sites. But even before that, most Russians were fed a diet of lies. Michael Wajura is a fluent Russian speaker who once played the role of token American on Russian talk shows, allowed to say a few words before being shouted down by other panelists. He left Russia with his Russian wife just before the invasion. He says the Putin government's lie that Ukraine is controlled by Nazis strikes a deep chord in a Russia that lost millions of its citizens while helping to defeat Nazi Germany.
So memory of the Second World War in Russia essentially exists as the justification for the current Kremlin leadership to maintain its position. The reason why Russia is great is because it won the Second World War. That gives people some sort of identification with a fight against Nazism.
Not every Russian believes the propaganda. Thousands have left the country. But those who know the truth sometimes have trouble convincing even their own relatives.
We've seen a lot of these heartbreaking scenes in many Russian families where Ukrainian relatives are calling them from the other side and telling them that the Russian army is bombing their cities and killing them. And the Russian part of the family simply refuses to acknowledge that, simply refuses to believe them, saying that it's all fake news.
And he says many Russians don't want to confront what is really happening.
It's not that this disinformation is so terrifyingly effective. It's actually quite lame and stupid. It's self-contradictory. But it seems to provide people a convenient kind of cushion between themselves and the horrific reality that they will have to face one day, that Russia is indeed waging a war of aggression against Ukraine.
With the invasion not going as Russia hoped, its citizens are not hearing that as many as 15,000 of their soldiers have died, some of their bodies left to rot on the battlefield. As for sanctions...
So they're being told the same thing that they were being told before the war, which is that the Western world wants to isolate you. They're worried about Russia becoming too strong.
Wajura believes Russia is in the grip of a kind of mass psychosis.
I don't understand how this can just heal itself. I don't know how this can get better without some sort of outside intervention.
A triumph of disinformation with deadly consequences.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.